Dear friends, I hope you guys are doing great. I just woke up and I switched on the TV and there's a lot going on about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry and the topic of racism. And this topic is very important to me, and I thought to share a video about this, and it might be important to you as well. So of course, number one, as a woman of color, I experienced racism since the time I was born in the home country that I belong to before coming to Canada, and there was a lot of racism based on my skin color and the way I looked. The other one is that I also did my degree in sociology, and these topics are quite interesting for me, and also somewhat disappointing to know that it's still happening in society. So let's talk about racism. First of all, let's understand what racism is. Racism is a prejudice, discrimination, and even antagonism towards people of certain groups based on their skin color. And sometimes this can go beyond their skin color. It can be because of even gender and religion and sexual orientation and so on and so forth. The experience that often people tend to not believe in, that racism exists, is more towards a type of racism that is not right in your face. So for example, hate crimes are an example of what's called overt racism, and hopefully I'm not mixing the two up because I usually do. Overt racism, and people often, call you names on the streets, and they have racial slurs, and they directly attack you because of the way you look. Unfortunately, maybe this is common since the COVID-19. There are some hate crimes against Asian American, Asian Canadian, Asian Westerners. So maybe that would be an example of overt racism, that sometimes, you see these videos that some hate crimes are being made. Now, that's in your face, and probably people often talk about that as a racism. Okay, this exists because I saw it. It's objective, it's out there. Videos can capture that. Audios can capture that, therefore it exists. However, there's another type of racism, which is, hopefully I'm right again, covert racism, that is not to your face. It's very subtle. It is, sometimes I would like to even believe that it operates at the not so conscious level as well. This type of racism is, for example, shown when you're applying for a workplace and you belong to a certain member of minority group with different religious names, and when you apply and you don't hear anything from them, while the other person who has the qualification, assuming you both are qualified and maybe you're the right fit, but sometimes you don't hear from employers. What I'm referring to right now is actually a study that was being done, and I think this study was done in UK, and it was part of my sociology degree as I was studying. I remember this from that time. So this type of racism that is not right into your face, but it's kind of done in a subtle way, can exist. And therefore, maybe that's what Meghan Markle is trying to share, that probably some of the experience she has had in the palace was about more of a subtle type of racism. But I wasn't there. I don't know how much truth is there. But one thing that I could share is that as a person of color, I can share with you that racism exists. And also, even as a psychologist, I work with my clients. They also talk about racism in therapy. Now, one thing that kind of interesting is one of my clients brought up that this person belongs to Caucasian race, but this person belongs to a part of Europe that has an accent, and when she speaks, you can hear this beautiful European accent, and she talks about some sort of racism towards her, and she actually shared that with me, that look, I'm Caucasian, and I should be belonging to the dominant race in the West, but there's some sort of racism towards me. When I go to workplaces, I feel like I receive some sort of racism from minority groups, and then I also receive some sort of racism from majority groups. So these are the experiences that individuals go through, and these are things that do happen in society. It's unfortunate that it happens, but at the same time, it is almost, we can say it's a fact that it's part of our society in day-to-day life. So what can we do? Hopefully we can use some of the research that in sociology suggests that exposure to other groups can help us to be less racist towards them. So getting ourselves more exposed, how do you do that during COVID when everybody is quarantine in their homes. It's difficult. Maybe through technology, maybe watch some really credible I don't know, documentaries that can be helpful to increase our knowledge about racism or particular groups. That can be one way, as the research suggests, that again, exposure and being exposed to those groups can reduce that. Another thing that I do feel is our individual responsibility to notice our own prejudices that we have. Sometimes, as I shared with you, they're not very conscious. And if I directly ask from you, or even myself, that are you racist? We both might say, no, we're not. But when certain behaviors we have, then we might actually have those kind of racist attitude, and being aware of that, and then keep that in check, and try to be very open towards the individual in front of us, because again, everybody is unique. Even though if they belong to a certain group, they have their own uniqueness and individuality within themselves. So I think this is the part that we can do as individuals to contribute and fight towards this unfair judgment and also treatment of people of different groups. Let me know if you have any questions, because I don't want to continue, because this can go on forever. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.